Oriens, splendor lucis aeterni, et sonius discernit et illumina, sedentes in tenebris, et umbra mortis. Alleluia. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Glory to you, Lord. Mary arose and went with haste into the hill country, to a city of Judah, and she entered the house of Zechariah and greeted Elizabeth. And when Elizabeth heard the greeting of Mary, the babe leapt in her womb. And Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit, and she exclaimed with a loud cry, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. And why is this granted me, that the mother of my Lord should come to me? For behold, when the voice of your greeting came to my ears, the babe in my womb leapt for joy. And blessed is she who believed that there would be a fulfillment of what was spoken to her from the Lord." The Gospel of the Lord, praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. At this very moment, the solstice, for about a quarter of an hour, from 9 to a quarter past 9, the annual phenomenon takes place just behind me. It is a very ancient part of European and world history that we have here, 500 years older than the pyramids themselves. And it is still perfectly watertight. It is something which is very interesting. In some ways, civilization can not advance but recede. They got it right. They calculated, and they have captured the sunlight, this ray that comes at the break of day and goes right down the shaft and hits the wall where presumably the ashes were, so that in contact with the sun, reconquering the dark, some hope will be given to the ashes of the dead. That's the best they could do. We have the Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. Constantine, who was sympathetic to Christianity, had it on his coin, and it is something which has rays, as it were, coming from the face. A veiled reference, perhaps, to the true sun, which is Christ our Saviour. Strangely enough, we have that Messianic ode, which talks about some kind of king to come in Virgil. We have also the strange prophecies of the Sibyl. All this is some kind of palping in the dark for a hope. And indeed, the prophets of the Old Testament themselves are stuck until this happens. As we had yesterday, the reference in St. Bernard of Clairvaux to Adam waiting for the consent of the Virgin, Abraham, David, and he goes on to mention those who are precisely in the valley of the shadow of death. Where are they? Sheol. They are waiting, because no one can get to paradise until that word is pronounced. It is consummated. And the veil of the temple is torn in two from top to bottom. The earth quakes and the old order is shaken. But they are waiting. All the just are there in that shady place. No one can get to heaven. The Lord on the cross says to that strange candidate for glory, today you'll be with me in paradise. The dark. Well, we have just heard, O Oriens, O rising sun, which is chanted also, at least the word, at every Benedictus at the crack of dawn, the dawn of light, which is the anticipation of eternal light. We have hope, and how sad it is that people prefer to recede into the new shades of New Age, more confusion, syncretism, bits of paganism coming back, and hankering after the forces that once were conquered by Patrick and all the saints in these Celtic lands. We prefer our comfort zone of shade and gloom. St. Ambrose, commenting this wonderful gospel of the Visitation, has this one-liner worth remembering and quoting. Nescit tarda molimina, Spiritus Sancti Gratia. It even rhymes. The grace of the Holy Spirit does not know tardy delays. Well, it applies to all action of the Spirit and our response to it. If we are given an actual grace, a nudge, then if we quench it and push it away, it may not come back. St. Augustine has another one-liner in this respect. Timeo Dominum transiuntem. I fear the Lord passing. That is, I may not grasp the grace while it's there. Seek the Lord while he is yet to be found, says the prophet Isaiah. It is important, and it's important precisely in the realm of, for instance, discernment of spirits and vocation. Woe betide somebody in authority who quenches the Spirit, pushes away, when actually the fervour is there and the grace is knocking at the heart, and it would be taken and would have effect if taken at that point. How many have been pushed away? You're too young, you're too immature, and on it goes. And in the meantime, of course, old Nick gets on the bandwagon and distracts them by all kinds of wonderful tangents, and they never come back. The classic way of protecting and orientating while there is no distraction is actually not without merit. It has worked and it still works. It's not so simple when some human prudence has invited them to gain a bit of experience. And of course, the experience they gain is that of sin and more baggage, which makes it difficult for the Lord to be Lord of all, and especially of the innocent heart.